Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions. Only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
What's the deal, Panther fans? It's your boy, the Professor, a.k.a. Tony Dunn. It's Tuesday night, 9 p.m., the C3 Panthers Podcast, bringing you the latest Panthers news and opinions from the fan perspective. I do it each and every week with my homeboys. This week, Cody Lashley in the house. How you doing, my friend?
Tony Dunn, what's up, brother? Again, it's another Tuesday night, and we're trying to find something Panther-related that isn't our former favorite Panther, Cam Newton, but we're going to make it work like we always do, brother. And as always, we have the most lit Panther fans in all of YouTube. Underground West, Joey the Blind Panther Esquivel, my cousin, Chef Jeff, Home Mycology, what's up, man? Chase Ebert, Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
CK's in the house. How you doing, my friend?
You know, just having a good time, man. Just living life and just trying to just survive throughout this process of trying to get back to a state of normalcy. So right now, just hanging out, man.
At one point, it seemed so close, but now it seems so far away, right?
I know.
Good Lord. It is tough. And you know what's tough is that we don't even know what's going to happen with football. And there's real uncertainty. I know everybody's plowing forward like there's not, but it's a strange world we're living in when it comes to the sports world. And like Cody said, we're trying to find something to talk about that doesn't involve our former quarterback, but I say impossible. We are about to change this. It's always been about Cam Newton on this podcast, and sadly, we can't turn the page, and it got harder to turn the page this week as Cam Newton, Odell Beckham Jr., Todd Gurley, and Victor Cruz put out a video. And what continues to see, now we're starting to see more and more players following the image of Cam, developing that YouTube channel, making their own essential TV program. And you saw an hour-long roundtable where they went from talking COVID and Black Lives Matters to specifics about each and every one's outlook going into this season, questions surrounding it. So tonight, that will be the focus of the show. Cam Newton reveals the tonight's show title, Nothing Clever. Cam Newton reveals details about release and his motivation to dominate. Right? You saw Odell Beckham Jr. and Cam Newton are ready to reassert themselves into dominant spaces in the NFL. So we'll talk about that. We've got some audio from that, and we'll have your calls. The Cat Calls line is 252-228-5098. And that's about it. Subscribe, whatever. And, there was something else. I didn't even remember to mention this, is The Ringer just put out a 6-episode podcast on Cam Newton. So it is
it's
Cam Newton week.
Really, really good, too. Everyone that I've heard that's listened to it says that it's awesome and really well done and has a lot of detail.
I started listening to the first episode yesterday morning, and you got to hear about Cam as a child and how hard this dad has been making him into a pro football player since he was itty bitty, and there was zero resistance from Cam. That was the thing, is Cam was like, you want to go to the field and throw? Yep. They would drop him off a half mile before they got home, and he would race the car.
I haven't seen or heard the whole thing yet. I've seen clippets and snippets of it online, and the part where they made Cam Newton dress up in fancy formal clothes every Friday, and at the time they thought that they would get him to stop acting like a clown in school, but in fact he turned out to love it, and he'd love to put on the nice Friday clothes and stunt on these hoes even at a young age, man. So hey, man, that sounds like vintage Cam Newton right there. That's where he got that flash, that drip, that flair. And listen, man, I know we've probably said this a million times on the podcast, but at a moment in time where the world has kind of been recaptivated by Cam Newton, and there's been so much more positive Cam Newton talk out in the news, it makes it even weirder that we're not talking about Cam Newton, the Carolina Panther.
It's like we don't even get to enjoy popular Cam.
No. When everyone was shitting on him, oh yeah, then it was with the sorry ass Panthers. But now that everyone's loving him and anointing him for the comeback, now it's like we don't even get to feel that, man. It fucking sucks, dude. It sucks.
CK, do you plan on listening to the Ringer podcast on Cam Newton?
Dude, I don't know, man. Like at this point in time, as much as I love Cam, I'm almost of the mind, I'm just ready to move on. It's been so exhausting just sitting here, just going through my emotions and just,
heard that.
I'm like, I don't know how many people have ever had to deal with anxiety and depression, but like one of the things that's so tough is like if you constantly think about the same thing, it'll exhaust you for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
And
you mean
there's
like
got to be a moment.
Like
like
Cam
even
Newton.
COVID, like any of that. And so like the more you can release and move on from, like that's why you always, when you move away from, like when you have a separation from an ex girlfriend or whatever it may be, you don't want to sit there and linger on it forever because you're never going to move past it. And right now I think I'm at that point where I'm ready just to kind of say, hey, listen, I hope he does well, but I don't think I want to put more effort into learning more about Cam Newton because it's just going to piss me off.
I hear it,
I
man.
kind of get that. Is like, at what point do we, just split up? No matter how much we loved our lost love, how do you split up? And we're almost, maybe it's not us breaking up. We're like the poor kids stuck in the.
We're the stepkids.
Yeah, it's just like we got to deal with the parents fighting.
Yeah.
Trying to pick sides now. We got to go live with the other parents.
No, it's not parents. Here's what it is. It's we had crappy parents. Like our mom had always our dad was garbage. Like so what we knew before Cam Newton was bad. Okay. And then Cam Newton came. He was a stepdad that showed us the way. He showed us how to fish. He showed us how to hunt. Oh. He went and took us out and played basketball and sports and all that. And we fell in love. And guess what? We started to call him dad. Well, guess what? Mom got tired of that. And, she felt like she should be the center of our attention rather than him. And so she quit.
Now Teddy Bridgewater is the new stepdad.
Yeah. New stepdad.
We have to, no matter how nice he is, we have to resist for a little while.
Yeah.
Until we have that magic moment where like we're a dick to him in the car and he does something cool and you start to forge a new path together.
Well, Teddy Bridgewater.
This is awesome. What a storyline we just came up with.
Teddy Bridgewater's already on Twitter talking about letting his nuts hang. And hey, man, dude, you're still new to this household right now, bro. Like, and you're letting your balls flap out. Like, man, you're a little bit too familiar.
Bro. Like we walked out of the bedroom and we know.
I didn't know Mom rolled like this.
We know Mom. We knew Mom and him were together, but seeing him in his underwear on the couch, drinking out of the milk jug or the orange juice carton,
in his robe, wearing a wife beater.
Yeah,
and a towel sitting next to him.
And he just asked us to get a beer. He just asked us to get a beer for him. At what point does Teddy Bridgewater offer us, the underage stepchild or child in the middle, a beer? Come on, Teddy. Give the olive branch out.
I mean, he's been working out. I've seen pictures of it. Dude, how about David Newton? Did you all see David Newton? So Teddy Bridgewater put out some pictures of him throwing the football out in California. And there's this real skinny, tall dude in the back. And David Newton goes, "Is that Brian Burns behind you?" Meanwhile, this dude is built like a toothpick. There's no way that it's Brian Burns. And all the dudes in the comment were like, "Not all black people look alike, David." Dude, David Newton's such an idiot, bro. Oh, I can't stand him.
Who is he? Who is now? Who is Teddy working with? These gloves, man. Oh my gosh, the gloves.
Yeah, and I've never been a fan of the gloves, especially being a
Who is he
quarterback.
working with in this? It says putting in work. Teddy Bridgewater's throwing with this dude. I want to know who
Not
that is.
OBJ.
Chat room. Who? Yeah. See, that's the other thing. Or why isn't he? Have you noticed that I've seen pictures of Cam throwing with N'Keal? What's his name? N'Keal Harry.
Yeah, N'Keal Harry.
We saw him with Mohamed Sanu. Why aren't we seeing Teddy with any of our guys?
Yeah, I don't know, especially knowing that you have to learn a bunch of new stuff. Like, it seems to me you'd want to be in a rhythm with your receivers, and and I'm not saying that's all on Bridgewater. I mean, I don't know what Samuel and DJ Moore are up to. I saw on Instagram DJ Moore got tatted up on his shin and his leg, on his shin and his arm. So no, I don't know, man, but it doesn't seem like a lot of teams are very cooperative right now. They're supposed to report soon, though, right? Like around the end of July, coming up here soon, they're supposed to have some level of reporting, like to the training facility.
So they talked a little bit about this in the video that we're going to get to. Still, we're going to be, featuring some parts of Cam Newton and Odell Beckham Jr., Todd Gurley. But one of the things...
Chase Everett says he's been throwing with Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson down in Miami, right? Okay, well, that's good. I guess they're boys. All right, who is this? Okay, so the guys were kind of concerned. You saw some reservations from Cam Newton, Todd Gurley, Odell Beckham Jr. about the plan going forward for the NFL. What is the plan for the NFL amidst the COVID pandemic?
Well, one of the things that I've heard, which I think this is a good idea, not just for football, but at large, is that if fans want to attend the game, then you essentially have to sign off and saying that the NFL has no responsibility if you were to contract COVID at a football game. So as far as attendance, that's kind of what I hear is going to happen. I've seen that right now the NFLPA wants no preseason at all. No preseason football, which I understand. Preseason football fucking sucks. And why put your body on the line for it, But also, you have a new coach and staff. You're trying to find out about your rookie players. But I was under the assumption that at the end of this month sometime, that's when teams are supposed to report to training camp. So as far as I know, that's still going to happen. But I think there's still a dispute between the NFLPA and the NFL right now.
I don't know. So one of the things that they were kind of praising is that basketball had a plan. I don't know how you can do it in football. Like, I mean, I know, like, what are they going to do? Like, there's like 80 people on the team. There's all this support staff. You know how many people touch the helmets and this and that? I feel like they're just going to have to kind of risk it, and it's just going to be like, we're going to play football no matter what.
Oh, have you seen the face shields that they're proposing?
No.
Dude, they're proposing like a plastic mouth part that goes over your mouth as well. Oh, dude, we're living in the dumbest fucking timeline of events that there could possibly be, man.
I'm trying to find this picture. I did want to talk about something other than Cam Newton. Did you see Christian McCaffrey's girls on the swimsuit issue and he
Oh my god.
in the Vogue stuff?
Yeah. All right, now I want to hear this, Tony. What's your opinion on McCaffrey's girl, his lady?
Like what she looks like?
Yeah, you think she's bad?
Yeah.
You think she's hot?
Duh.
Oh, you do?
Duh.
Because all right, then why were you coming down on me for saying that Caroline Can was hot?
Because this girl's in a different damn this
She
is
don't
a
have, like, a
different stratosphere.
Her
Of,
body is not like she has a model body. She's
Sarah,
not.
just hang in there. We'll get to stuff you want to talk about here in a minute.
Yeah, right. No, I'm just trying
I'm
to
telling
call out
you
Tony. I don't
that
want Tony to
putting
be
Caroline, this and Caroline Can in the same discussion is like, sorry, it ain't happening.
all right, bro. I don't think
This
there's
is
much
like
of
a
difference.
different, you know what I mean? That's like kind of comparing the WNBA to the NBA. Like, yeah,
bro.
it's
what?
like them
No.
girls can shoot and all.
Bro.
Like, they could school me, but they ain't slam dunking on those.
Bro, McCaffrey's girlfriend, she ain't really built like that, bro. That's
Built
that's
like
what
that,
that's
he
what
said.
I'm trying to say, man.
Neither was Caroline Can.
I know that's what I'm saying, man. They're comparable, in my opinion, at least. They're like same type.
That is
But what?
wild. All right, here. Let me
All right.
grace the chat room, all the people listening on the internet or watching on YouTube. Hold on, I just got the picture. C-Max Sizzle is the name of this file.
Sarah Taylor said you can talk about CMC's girl. I've got my own opinion on his fine self. Hey, there we go. Dude, he has a body like a Greek god, man.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, look, he's a good
Well,
looking
I don't
dude.
know. I feel like Cam Newton's probably closer to the Greek god status.
Yeah,
agree.
fine, maybe a Roman god.
Here we go.
Dude.
It's up on the screen right now. And this is something that now some of the Carolina Panthers fans, the girls, thought that this was a creepy post by the Panthers, the shooter, the shot. But I do believe that, like, not only is she going to be on swimsuit, in the swimsuit edition or on the cover, but as well, like, there's these photos he took are going to be in Vogue or something like this.
Vogue? Oh, I what the photos that Christian took?
Yeah, I heard someone say that. Well, I read someone say that in the chat. Now, here, a question to the chat room. Is Caroline Can and this girl, I don't even know this girl's name.
Bro, she's kind of basic, bro.
Basic?
Sophia.
Bro, she ain't even all that, man.
What's her name?
Kinda-
Sophia what?
Sophia.
Sophia something. She has a last name.
I mean, listen, shout out my man
Sophia
Christian.
McCaffrey?
I'm not saying I could pull no better, bro. I'm just saying, like, if we're comparing, like, yeah, she's a cute chick, but like, bro, she ain't all that, man. She alright, man, but she ain't nothing special. That's what I'm trying to say, man.
She's like the next. She looks like she could be. Who
bro, I've
was
seen
that?
a million different versions of that bitch, bro.
You
I'm just trying to tell you, bro.
ass
Like,
mug.
bro,
You
ain't that,
crazy.
bro, ain't that,
Jeff said Caroline Can is JV, Sophia is varsity.
Yeah, I
Or
agree.
Olivia, that's her name. Yeah,
It's Olivia.
her sister is Sophia. Demetrius says.
Okay.
JV.
She reminds me of, who was that girl that was in Assassins or Desperado? She was a Hispanic actress that was super popular in the 90s or early 2000s.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
No. Anyway.
Penelope Cruz.
Oh, yeah. That's who I'm thinking of.
Penelope Cruz.
There's
I mean,
something
she
exotic about the Latino flavor. Spicy.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just sort of
What do you think
borderline,
Caroline
though.
Can was?
Black,
Like
though.
German?
You know who mine, like, if I'm going to go back, the one that's always going to stick out to me is Jessica Alba.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
Jessica
she
Alba has
sticks
a little
out.
bit of flavor to it.
She sticks. Selma Hayek. That's exactly who I was thinking of.
Yeah,
But
there you go.
I mean, when I look at her, I don't, I see some hints of Hispanic, but I mean, she could pass for a white girl. IMO. The man that was here, Cody ain't no simp. And yeah, bro, like, we don't love these hoes, bro. Bro, whatever, man. She's a dime a dozen, bro. I've seen a million of her, bro.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm sorry, bro. Everyone's fawning over her. And hey, I'm not saying I can do no better. That's a promise. But I'm just saying, if we're comparing her to others, come on, bro. I've seen some bad ones.
Who did she
bro.
used to date? She used to date somebody.
Julian Edelman? Wasn't it Julian Edelman?
Yeah, I think so.
That
Olivia Culpa is her name. Culpa's got some Spanish in it.
sounds Italian.
Oh yeah, maybe she is. I don't know who she
Tony,
is.
you're Italian, man. You don't know that.
Man,
that
I'm
name?
from Winterville, North Carolina, dude. You know,
Respect.
I mean,
Respect.
all right, let's go. The number's 252-228-5098. Let's go ahead and jump into a cat call, see what they guys say before we hit these cam comments up.
Oh, Amendola. Demetrius Miller said
Yeah.
it's Danny
How did that make you
Amendola.
feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good like a 3 and a 4 and a who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in the snow? Who's that kid that can use one?
Hey guys, Maurice again, Andrew, North Carolina. Listen, my reference
What's up, Maurice?
as far as Cam being the new Black Mamba compared to Kobe Bryant and slash the Los Angeles Lakers, that pertains to them both being handed over by Charlotte. Carolina Panthers are located in Charlotte. We gave Kobe Bryant to the Lakers.
Oh, I never thought about
That
that,
was our
dude.
pick. And we just gave Cam Newton to the Patriots. And the last thing I have to say is fuck Big Cat. I'm going to buy a Cam Newton jersey and I'm going to wear it at the Panther Stadium
Oh, I feel that.
later.
Later, Maurice. I love
He's
that.
gonna buy a New England Patriots Panthers or
Yeah,
Cam Newton jersey.
he's buying a Patriots Cam Newton jersey, and he's gonna rock that shit at the stadium.
Oh
Hey
my
man,
God.
I'm into it, man, dude. I'm about that energy, man. And hey, that is a good dude. The Hornets had Kobe Bryant, and they sent that man away for a player that you've never fucking heard of in your life, bro. And I didn't even think about that when we initially made that comparison, man. Damn, dude, that shit pisses me off, man.
All right.
Especially after you hear what we're gonna play, what Cam Newton said about how the Panthers basically treated him on the way out, man. Dude.
Kobe demanded to be traded though.
So tell him no.
He pulled like a Phillip Rivers, or not a Phillip Rivers, an Eli Manning. All right, next call.
Podcast, Carolina Podcast. How y'all doing? It's G Cavassier. I know I ain't talked to y'all in a minute. Hopefully you guys, all you gentlemen, and all your family members are being safe in this horrible ass time we got going on with this COVID-19. So for all y'all, before I go on my little rant, please be careful and keep your family safe. Now, I know y'all seen the shit with Cam Newton on social media talking about, you know, how the Panthers did him wrong. And he has every right to say that. You know, I mean, I'm saying I am a Cam Newton fan, but let this be known. I'm a Carolina Panther fan before I was a Cam Newton fan. Let's make sure we all agree with that. Hopefully the same thing to you gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is this. Yes, we lost a superstar. We lost a big superstar. But let's go back in time real quick, gentlemen. Let's really go back in time. Y'all remember when Steve Smith left? That shit hurt me hard as hell. It hurt me hard as hell. It also hurt me hard as hell when we lost D'Angelo Williams. That really hurt me. You know what I'm saying? But we lost Steve Smith. We lost D'Angelo Williams. And what happened within the next year, the next 2 years? Oh, that's right. We went to the damn Super Bowl. So I'm saying this. I'm not saying it's going to be this year or next year, but within the next, give it 4 years, we'll be in the damn Super Bowl, man. I just have that damn feeling. I just really do. I'm sold on that rule. And Teddy Bridgewater is our damn quarterback. People like it or not. Teddy Bridgewater is our quarterback. And I'm a ride and die with damn Teddy, man. So give me your thoughts on that. And always remember, y'all, keep pounding.
All right. Well, let's kind of blend the two comments together. Is that what is there a problem with buying a New England Patriots Cam Newton jersey? And how do you feel about, what G. Cavassier is saying is it's time, like CK was saying earlier, turn the page, get ready for a new dawn in Carolina.
CK, you want to go
I'll take
first,
it.
man? I feel like
I mean, the only part about all of this is I just, I guess it's just a matter of wash and repeat. I mean, just continue to, hammer down the same stuff. I do think that at this point in time, we knew when details came out about this that we weren't going to be happy with the way things were handled, right? But I think at the same time, I think continuing to dwell on those things and I am, like I said, I am wishing Cam Newton all the best. But I was a Panthers fan before I was a Cam Newton fan. Cam Newton just got me way more excited about the Panthers than any other player had ever done. And so I'm going to continue to remain loyal to the to the team that is, who I grew up loving and watching and going to the games and enjoying, I can still wish him success, similar to how the Colts were hoping that, Peyton Manning would have success when he left. It wasn't a matter of, we want you to fail, but I don't think I'm at the point where it makes sense for me to buy a jersey for him. I think that to each his own, but I do believe it's time to move on. It's time to, if anything, the part that I will say is if we do suck this year, at least I'll have a team to be able to root for, somebody to be able to root for to do something.
Like the secret team that you're, watching on you have an interest, it's kind of like what fantasy football does for you when your team stinks. See, that's the best thing about fantasy football is that, every team has a chance for the first 3 weeks. And then after that, if you start to see your team slip and fall, it's, you need some storylines to hold your interest. So Cam Newton could do this. I'm concerned. The thing that I'm concerned about that this call brings to light is I'm not sure if I want to love again. And, when I hear you guys say, I was a Panthers fan before I was a Cam fan, a lot of us were. Most of us were. But it's almost that Cam and my Carolina fandom became genetically merged.
I agree.
In the last decade. And now I don't know if I want to love another player so much because that more times than not it's not going to work out. I mean, I think about the two players that I've loved that deeply, Julius Peppers, Cam Newton. These are guys that, I all in. Give me the jersey on day one. You can't tell me. I'm going to sharpen my Twitter sword and fight for these guys because I think, they're just my favorites. So I don't know if I want to have another favorite like that
But that's the exact same thing like that I was talking about. It's a relationship where you've split up. You're a Panthers fan. He was the Panthers quarterback and you loved him so much. And now that he's gone, it's so hard because like right now, think about this, Tony. If something crazy happened and you got a divorce, think about dating again. How exhausting does that sound?
Oh my goodness.
Right?
Every single guy wants to be married and every married guy wants to be single. And then you're like, man, I don't want to go. I don't even know. I would be like, I think that internet dating is ridiculous. So I just would probably be.
Can I kind of put my spin on this, man?
Right.
And I can even tie it into the relationship thing too. It's like, and I'll be honest, man, I've said that on this podcast numerous times. And I don't care if people want to call my fucking fandom into question. Cam Newton brought me to the Carolina Panthers. I don't go back with this team way back. So my love for the Panthers and football is quite literally because of Cam Newton. Now, that doesn't mean I'm about to switch up and go be a fan of another team. I'm a Panthers fan from now until the day I die, and that's never going to change. But it's like, if we're going with the relationship thing here, I've been in a relationship for almost 10 years now. Guess what? I'm not ready to make a commitment to the first girl or quarterback I jump into bed with, man. So forgive me for not doing backflips about Teddy Bridgewater and thinking, oh, Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the answer. He's fine. We have to give him a chance. Well, no, I don't know that Teddy Bridgewater is going to be fine. And I know that there's a hot blonde coming down the road that might be interested.
Yeah,
might have a,
and she does look like a she. On the mark. She does look like a she. Oh,
he plays like an alpha male motherfucker.
Okay,
and you would love him if he's a Panther.
Do you think
that's a problem?
Is when you find yourself cheering for Cam Newton this year a little bit, is that kind of like after you've been divorced for a year or so, things are starting to settle down, and y'all rendezvous by accident, maybe some beers or exchange or some drinks, and then you have one last hurrah. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that what that is? I don't know. I'm just kind of interested. I'm just wonder how long it's going to take for me to find my next, the player, kind of like a Luke Kuechly type player, And
I think right now there's a vacuum, right? Christian McCaffrey can fill it up a little bit, but there's a vacuum, and you know what that means? You're going to find someone to fill that hole pretty quickly, and it may not be somebody immediately. Yeah, exactly. But that's
like
exactly
if Robbie Anderson takes one to the house,
there.
Like on the first game, we're going to be like, Robbie Anderson's the
You're going to be
best
searching for that person. The moment, and I'm not saying it's going to happen with Teddy Bridgewater, but there are a lot of people, and I'll put it into perspective. And, my wife's grandmother passed away last year. She was diagnosed with leukemia in April, and she passed away, about 6 months later. Well, it took all of about 3 weeks for her grandfather to start dating somebody else, right?
Jeez.
But here's the thing: is once you've been with somebody that long,
it's hard to be alone.
You are ready to try to do something else. Like, you're not just ready. I mean, like, all right, well, listen, we're moving on from Cam. Let's see what else is out there. Now, 9 times out of 10, it is not the answer. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be running through the answers. You're going to be running through the next one to the next one to the next one until you find that answer. But eventually, you find that girl you want to put the ring on again. And
I think inevitably, especially early on, we're going to be comparing whoever the quarterback is to Cam Newton because he set the bar so high.
That's always going to be the thing, yeah.
Yeah,
until you're ready to throw that bar away, you're never going to be satisfied.
The good news is the void. The void is half as big for Cody because he's got Curtis Samuel to fill it.
I do love me some Curtis Samuel. I mean, think about that, dude. We lost Cam Newton, Greg Olsen, and Luke Kuechly in the same offseason.
Thomas Davis just a couple off seasons ago.
Yeah, dude, that is fucking nuts, man. That's nuts. And listen, the only thing I want to say is, man, if you're one of these fans that's like, we have to pull for the Panthers no matter what, and it's like, I understand that. We're all Panthers fans. But don't come down on us so hard for not being the most enthusiastic about this current situation and the current squad that we have, especially since Bridgewater doesn't have a lot of snaps under his belt, doesn't have a lot of starts. You're kind of projecting.
Yeah, we're not even being pessimistic. It's like people are upset we're not more excited.
Yeah, like, be realistic, man. Like, what do you want from us?
Like, I'm going on the date. I'm going on the date that Mom set me up with. I'm going to go on it. I'm going to put on my best face. I'm going to open the door. I can't just say that I believe that I'm just going to be blown away. But
and just pretend that I'm Teddy Bridgewater's #1 fan just because he's a Panther. Like,
in truth,
he hasn't earned that yet.
To just double down on this metaphor, and once you are blown away, you're gonna change your tune, man.
Yeah.
And if Teddy Bridgewater comes out and just destroys things, and he shows that he's not just a stopgap, then that's going to be great. I am hopeful, I am optimistic, but I'm not expecting fireworks, right? I don't believe it's going to be something that we see.
Yeah, we're in a good spot. Is that this is the Panthers very likely could be very good now. Greg might win the bet for this reason, is that we always suck when we think we're going to be good, and we're always good when we think we're going to suck.
Always what I've said. And I mean, I look at our schedule, and the problem is I think we could win half of our games because they're at home. Right, and they're the easier ones. The ones that are away are the ones that are tough. Every single away game is ridiculous.
If the 2020 Panthers go 8-8 or 9-7 or 6-10, I will want to die, bro. I will want to die when there are that many quarterbacks, and we just have an average football team, dude. That is the worst possible outcome.
I agree.
Where we play ourselves out of a quarterback and then we have to run it back with the same old squad, or hope that there's a free agent out there that we're in love with or whatever. It's just like, man, dude, I don't know, man. I want us to either light the world on fire and be a legitimate Super Bowl contender, or I want to be the very bottom of the barrel.
All right.
The very bottom of the barrel.
We've had that conversation a lot of times as well.
We'll have it a lot more, too.
But let's now, let me just get your camera a little more in focus. And let's go now and let's start breaking down what we heard in this video. Cody, there's some long passages too, so strap on your seatbelts, folks. This is probably going to take about 4 minutes.
Feelings and your thoughts. A, when you got the call, and then B, as you started the process. Yeah, slow sip. As you start the process of thinking, wow, I'm about to be a Patriot.
We're being honest.
First off, I'm gonna say they don't believe in you, Ken. We talked about it. They don't believe in you.
That's real talk. But this is me. But I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you. It was my dog Future. Shout out to Future. He dropped a mixtape called 56 Nights. One of my favorite mixtapes. And I was like, bro, like they playing with me, and I had to count the days how long I was unemployed. It was 86 nights. 86 nights, like it's just like that's 3 months.
Yeah, almost 90 days.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm going through it, and I'm like, okay, early on, like people going to get signed, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, you can't say I'm old because people older than me getting signed.
Especially at your position.
Hello. You know. Then I'm like, you can't say it's about injury because people who are more injured than me are getting signed. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, where we at? Then you can't say the talent. So I'm like, hold on. Okay, now I'll be the first person to tell you, these last 2 years, I haven't been putting the best film on tape.
That's real.
That's just honest. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, there's other people that's been putting shitty film out there that's getting picked up. And I'm like, whoa. Okay.
Not even picked up, they got the starting job.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm feeling disrespected. Like I'm feeling like, bro, because every team at one point had to say, okay, fellas, Cam Newton, what do we think? Pass. You feel me? And that's the disrespect that I feel. So it's not like I feel vindicated to some degree, but I'm searching for, I'm going at next all year because it's like, at one point I did feel, and I still do feel like a part of me is left because I gave an organization everything. What I gave, I don't think other people were willing to give. And it was times where I knew I wasn't supposed to be playing. But off of the mere fact of Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, you know what I'm saying? Like DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart, you know, Steve Smith. I'm like, bro, I can't give up on them. Like, you know what I'm saying? We play the ultimate team sport in offensive football. That's the ultimate team sport. Because if the guard don't do his job, I can't do my job. Who is O? You know what I'm saying? Who is a Todd Gurley if the guard don't do, if the center don't snap the ball, if O don't block on the perimeter, how can TG eat? Exactly. That's the ultimate team. We need a collective group of 11 people doing one thing, not one guy trying to do 11 things. So I said all that to say, I'm like, bro, like Man, I got a call, and my agent hit me. I was,
All right. So I think that's the next clip, right? That we want to go through. So we'll stop right there. What is he's talking about, kind of being upset with, really kind of just a disrespected in his opinion. He thinks that he should have been signed by like 20 teams.
Yeah, and I mean, he's right when he says that all these other football teams, they're going down lists of free agent quarterbacks, and they know that Cam Newton's on the market, and they all, they say, all right, everybody, what you think about Cam Newton? And then there are guys in there that are like just doubting him, man. And I see it amongst Panther fans that are just like, Cam's done. Cam has been hurt. And a lot of people are putting the injuries on Cam Newton. And I understand if you wanted to say that Cam Newton knew that he was hurt and you shouldn't have played. But to that I said, listen to what the man just said. There is no truer team sport than football. And you're accountable to the man next to you and the man that you're playing on the field with. So Cam Newton being the quarterback, yeah, he was hurt. But he was willing to bet on himself to go out there and put his ass on the line for Christian McCaffrey and Luke Kuechly and Greg Olsen. And it's like that's a Warriors mindset. That's why I always put the mishandling of Cam Newton on Ron Rivera. And a lot of people think I'm trying to take blame away from Cam Newton. But Ron Rivera, it's his job as the coach to know my player is a dog. I know he wants to be out there, but if he's hurt, it's my job to step in and tell him to not play. So I'm looking out for my team, the future of my quarterback. I'm looking out for my football team. But instead, they just let Cam go out there, and he did what he should have done, man. If you're hurt, everyone plays hurt. Everyone plays hurt. But when you're the quarterback, you ride or die for your football team. And that's why I never blame Cam Newton for going out there, even when he was feeling all that pain, man.
I do think it's a little difficult that Cam's sort of laying it on thick. By like every team passed on me, this kind of idea. Like 8 or 10 of the, maybe 50% of the league has got their quarterback situation financially in a place they need to be. And they can't just necessarily, it's not a game of pickup football in the backyard. I don't know if it's that realistic. He was talking about other quarterbacks that were old and injured. Right? Mm-hmm. Who do you think? Who comes to mind? The chat room was highlighting Nick Foles.
Yeah, for sure, Nick Foles.
They traded for him. I was thinking that's who I was thinking too. Is Phillip Rivers? Is because the Colts just went out and got him. I wonder if the timing.
Dwayne Haskins. I know he wasn't signed necessarily, but I mean, when you've made a decision that he is better.
Tennessee.
I mean, Mike Glennon is on the team. Bortles is on the team. A lot of these people. Dude, how about the Jacksonville Jaguars? I mean, do you prefer Gardner Minshew over Cam Newton? Like, come on, bro.
I like Gardner Minshew. I'm rooting for Gardner Minshew, former ECU Pirate for a moment. We let him go. But yeah, I mean, I see that. And I told you guys it was going to happen this way. It's like the evil empire is always going to win. And Belichick, he had it done. He got it done. That's why he's the best, man. Let's see what else. Let me see. Do I just keep it rolling, Cody, or do we?
No cap.
Yeah, man. I say,
like, hey, man, we just got an interest from a team.
Listen,
I'm like, okay, cool. Who? And it was like New England.
Oh, this is a different part.
I said,
Odell wants to go play in New England. Look at him.
I know.
How is me and Belichick gonna mesh? You know what I'm saying?
Because that was the first thing I thought.
Because it's like perception. Yeah. Like,
but I think his perception of Belichick is not that. Like, for me, first of all, I went to LSU. You was at Auburn. I watched you do what you do, right? And then you get to the league, and I'm thinking I'm the one dancing, I'm having fun, and then I see you out there and what you brought to the game and to the table. So I understand. Like, I feel like now that I've gotten to link with you this offseason, I just have so much more respect, a better understanding, a better appreciation of what you've been through. Because, you know, like you giving everything, shoulder, foot. Everything. I came back 3 weeks early and broke my shit.
Everything.
I should not have been playing. So for me, watching you and now to feel that vindication and to be going to Belichick, there is no like, how is it going to work? For me, all he want to do is put you in a place to succeed. Yeah. And I'm happy to see it.
I'm a little surprised at this point in the video that Odell is saying that and Cam ain't saying it more.
That Cam's not saying.
Like, you know, that this idea that we're not going to jive is kind of bullcrap. I'm excited to go play with the best coach in football. He does call him the best coach. But I think that's what Odell's trying to say here. The perception is that, like Victor Cruz is like, I want to know how y'all going to mesh. Odell's saying you're going to mesh because Bill Belichick wants to win and you're Cam Newton.
Absolutely. And I think it might have been in the same interview where he was pretty much saying that, you know, the Patriots are so good at utilizing the talent that they have. And I don't even know if you have all the clips. A lot was said in this interview.
Oh,
but there was a part.
Keep going, man. I got all of them.
But the part, I don't know if it was the next one, where he talks about McDaniels, about.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like this too. It's like, okay, like can we not? We have to talk about the elephant in the room, and it's like, you know, who you coming after, and I'm like, yeah, great. Yeah. What he is great. Needs no even talking about it. But one thing about it though, you. Coach McDaniels, you're able to call some stuff that you ain't never been able to call now. All right, and I told, hey, you getting a dog? You getting one of these ticked off dogs too. That's like, bruh. And I'm looking at the schedule. I'm like, who we play? That team passed on me. Okay, that team passed on me. They could have came and got me. They hollered at me. I even asked my agents like, hey, yo, so what's up with? Nah, man, the agent act like he was like, well, we gotta wait till it was just all type of, issue. So I'm like, bro, you know what? I'm gonna take this time with the COVID. I said I'm gonna commit to myself.
But talk about one thing that affected me a lot, especially obviously going through the injuries that we've all.
When he says that he's looking down the schedule, who do you think the teams he's talking about? The Raiders, maybe? The Dolphins, potentially?
The Dolphins, the Raiders,
the Bills,
the Chargers,
the Bills, the Chargers, and that's probably about it. Maybe the Jets.
Let me see.
Yeah, I mean, that's all the because unless you're saying the 49ers. Now imagine putting Cam on the 49ers right now.
Oh,
I would be afraid of that team if they did that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fair.
Did you see that running back requested a trade?
What is it, Mostert?
Yeah.
From the Chiefs or the Niners?
Yep.
That's probably because they're not giving him money.
Yeah, and because he's gonna end up being on a rotation. And he's ready to be seen as a starting running back.
Well, he also realizes that this year, if he is on a rotation, his numbers are going to plummet and his value is going to go through the floor. Like, I'm not saying he's not a great running back, but he is not a star running back, in my opinion. He just benefited from a very, very good scheme and offensive line and everything that was working well with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the tricky part. So much of a back's success and it comes dependent upon the system, the coaches, the offensive line. There's so much that goes into it. I mean, it's the same thing with any team, with any position, really. You're as good as the people you're around. But I don't know. I mean, I think the Chargers, going back to the teams that passed on them, I would say the Chargers, the Dolphins, maybe the Bills, but again, they have a franchise quarterback. Maybe the Raiders too. But I also think it's a little bit of showmanship from Cam, just pretty much saying, dude, I'm ready to come back and slaughter fools, man. Like, I'm ready to go on a tear and light the football field on fire, man. And I feel that energy from Cam, man. That's the exact way that he should feel. I do think that the coaches are going to put him in a good position to be able to do so, man. That's Belichick.
Unique part of that statement to me is I hadn't even thought about what it's like stepping in a place behind Tom Brady. All I've done has been thinking about what it's like losing Cam Newton. You know, you got to wonder what it's like for Cam Newton stepping into a place where the greatest quarterback in NFL history arguably just left. And to be honest, I am really more surprised that New England fans aren't more excited. I mean, like, if I was a New England fan and I had the prospects of just being stinky in the abs and just losing the greatest quarterback and tank for Trevor type mentality, and then all of a sudden I get Cam Newton who wants on for $0, and now he's talking about you can call whatever you want, McDaniels. I'm only making $1 million, but I'm about to get a 5-year deal here.
I mean, it's, in my opinion, it's way different from what we're going through. Whereas you've had a legendary quarterback that you've won Super Bowls with in Tom Brady, you know you're moving on to him. You know, you're going to a former MVP who is physically just capable of doing shit that the Patriots quarterback has not been able to do since Tom has been there. You're going to be able to do some new things. You're going to be able to see how inventive Belichick and McDaniels can be with a player like Cam Newton. So, yeah, why not just be excited for that? I mean, I don't know that they're not excited. I don't have my finger on the pulse of the Patriots fan base. I don't really know if they are or not. It wouldn't surprise me if they're not, because I feel like a lot of people have this false narrative about who Cam is as a football player. But I don't know, man. I would be pumped. And then if it doesn't work out, whatever. It's only for a year. And then you're moving on. You're doing something different.
No kidding. All right, here's the last clip. I think what we got here, or that you wanted to talk about. And this is on the release.
Right. This is how the Panthers did.
But those situations, like, if you had to rank them, it would be Philly first, Saints second, my situation third.
Can someone explain this to me? That part of the video? Like, what are they talking about right there?
So, rewind it. So he said
for me, you know, I think about the Saints situation. Teddy, you talking about Teddy, right? I understand. Like, I'm still out with y'all. Like, we good. Like, we won. We won. One step closer. But they don't understand that. So for me, you know, I think about the Saints situation. Teddy, you talking about Teddy, right? Drew, you. The only situation different was the Eagles, but I mean, look at the situation if you really look at it.
But those situations, like, if you had to rank them, it would be Philly first, Saints second.
All right, so pause.
My situation third.
What he's talking about. You pause. So what he's talking about is being the starter, and then the starter goes down, and then the backup comes in and has success as the starter. So they're talking about number one, Philadelphia, because Nick Foles won the Super Bowl as a backup. Then the Saints and Teddy Bridgewater. Drew Brees goes down, breaks his thumb, and Bridgewater comes in. And then the third was his situation, what happened with him and Kyle Allen, and how that went. Those are the three different scenarios.
Foles was so long ago, though.
Huh?
CK, do you understand this reference?
Yeah. So what he's, what I'm guessing is they're basically trying to justify the fact when you look at the situation with Drew Brees, they won with a backup quarterback, but they still went back to who they knew was going to be better. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. It wasn't like they got hurt, which both of them did, you know, and Wentz has got a history of injury now, even more so, in my opinion, than Cam Newton ever has.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, but Cam Newton gets hurt, and Kyle Allen comes in and proves very little, has very little success,
oh my God,
and is still cut. with very little success. It's not like he came in and he was able to show the Panthers organization, oh man, Cam Newton isn't the only thing that makes this offense run. Nope. What we saw was a very dull and lack of explosiveness outside of Christian McCaffrey, and we still moved on from him. Whereas these other organizations decided to keep their quarterbacks.
All right, that clarifies.
And sign them to monster deals.
But why were they so easy to commit when the third situation, it shouldn't have been hard? But just getting my intuition and my discernment of the whole situation, I was like, not saying at all is speaking so loud. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, bro, I seized the plot. You know what I'm saying? So when it happened, I was like, bro, when they sent the text like.
Yeah, that's the part that's hard though, because now you walking around the building a little different, and you when
wait. They sent the text. They sent you a text.
Nobody called me. My agent called me, bro, and that's why I was. I was like, bro, it was a text sent, and then I was like, what? And then he called me, was like, man, yeah, man, I told them don't just do that. Like, we're going to have to agree to what team we're going to be traded to. I said, this whole time, the owner couldn't call me. No. The GM couldn't call but they called me after the fact. Basically, they called me, you know what I'm saying, with the decision already made. Yeah. You know, it was in the book. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, you know, and I'm talking to them, I'm like, bro, like I'm gonna be professional. You know what I'm saying? I answer the phone call, yes sir, no sir. That's how my mom raised me. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, bro, y'all got some nerve, bro. Like I'm a warrior, bro. You know what I'm saying? I take everything at heart. I'm the type of dude that get off the bus mad. Man, shoot, it's raining outside. Oh, y'all tried me. So let alone, I done gave this whole city, I gave this whole franchise, I gave the coaches everything, my mind, my body, my soul, my heart. And this how y'all treat me, bro? And I said it in the interview before, I never once wanted to leave. Y'all pushed me out because y'all didn't believe in me. You know what I'm saying? Because like, they was like, he's not healthy yet? No, get rid of him. I'm like, okay, cool. So now I'm going to another situation where it's like I get coached by arguably the best coach
ever.
Swear.
Arguably.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now it's like if we was playing spades, it was like, bro, you know, we all had this, bro, you give me your hand and you get my hand and let's see what you do with it.
That's the thing. Yeah. So that was a great conversation.
That's pretty much the end of it.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he said a mouthful right there. Cam Newton just said, but we all guess he had to be feeling. He put his body on the line every single game.
He gave everything to this city, is what he said.
Everything to the city, everything to the city, to this team, to the coaches, to the players, and that's how they decided to do it, man. And again, man, I find that the continuing narrative is like, when do we move on, right? Cam's not coming back, got to move on. Teddy Bridgewater's our quarterback, got to move on. But it's like the more and more information that keeps on trickling out, and then you hear this shit, man, and it makes it even harder to move on. And it kind of reinforces it. It's like, dude, I'm not mad at all if the Panthers are a terrible football team this year. Not only is it a little bit of karma for how they did Cam Newton, but yeah, it puts us in a better position for next year's draft. And Cam might have an opportunity to go get him a Super Bowl. I mean, in my mind, that's the best of both worlds, man. And, the fact that our man Yotes in the chat room said they did it like a female they don't want to see no more. Dude, they just sent the slide text message.
They almost like ghosted him. And here's the thing that it really is probably the most important part about it to me is that Cam is looking at like this, is that this has been 2 years. It's been tough on me. I've gone through these injuries, but I'm not done. You know, I mean, that's the way he's approaching it. The Panthers are approaching it as, our time with you is done. And that is where Cam is sitting there going, geez, like, how do you give up on somebody like that so quickly? And I think that there were some other things, that obviously were bothersome when they said when he was getting his training and when Kyle Allen was winning and stuff, like Cam had to like wait in line. It was like they forgot. Yeah. And this does continue to show you that the things that CK said were true observations. You remember how he was saying that they're not talking about him on social media at all. They're not, you don't see anything about him. You don't see him in the press box. So obviously the time had come to an end. And he did say that. He said, and it wasn't like they didn't call him, but they didn't call him to say, these are the things we're thinking about potentially trading you. We think about, it's like, we're trading you. We're cutting you. Yeah. But best of luck to you.
The text message, if I'm gathering right, the text message was not saying we're cutting you or we're releasing you, or it was basically saying we are going to entertain the idea of trading you. It's basically what I'm guessing.
Yeah, they pretty much said we're going to move on. So we want, we're going to seek a trade. And then they were like, well, hold on, don't just do that. Don't just trade him to anyone, because we're not just going to go just anywhere. So we needed to decide where we're going to go. So now it's at that time that the Panthers put out their own bit of information and they said we have given Cam Newton, granted him the right to seek a trade. And then that's when Cam's like, no, this is not me wanting to seek a trade. Y'all said you're moving on and that you're going to see about trading me. So that's when I'm like, okay, now me and my agent are going to see what's out there, where we want to go. And it is manipulative. Like, and we've been talking about it with Matt Rule and David Tepper. There's a part of saying just enough without saying too much. Yeah. And that's what the Panthers organization has been trying to do. They've been trying to walk on eggshells, but at the same time move forward with the decision that Cam Newton is not their guy of the future, and how to do that without pissing off a bunch of people.
I think one of the things that, and maybe we are too quick to take Cam's side on everything, is that people referencing, that Cam wanted an extension. It still sounds like they could have forced him to play his last year of his contract and he would have done it. That's what I'm kind of gathering from this. But maybe we're too quick to just like jump on Cam's side that he got done wrong and done dirty the whole time. But I think we also may be too quick to think that Tepper's a nice guy. Right? We've been excited by Tepper since he comes in. He walks around with the fans. He kind of has this jokey mentality and this and that. He's not too stiff. Seems kind of like a working man dude. But Tepper might be he could be cut. I mean, you don't get to the top in that world
without having, well, he already has the balls on his table. So
he has the revenge mansion. I mean, he built a mansion on the ashes of his former boss's house.
I mean, shame on us for thinking that a hedge fund manager isn't fucking cutthroat. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like this dude made his money in a very cutthroat, make your decision right now business. And it's not surprising that when you become good at that, you become a little cold to the decisions that you make. Yeah, that makes total sense to me.
I agree, but I also think that, as we talked about, you can almost see the writing on the wall with Ron Rivera firing. Ron Rivera existence in Carolina was just basically a memorial to Jerry Richardson, right? And now Cam Newton also is a part of that era. I think Christian McCaffrey's still young enough to not be considered in that era yet, but what you're seeing is a lot of those older guys are gone. So I mean, it makes it that much easier. He has no marriage to that guy. But I do want to play a game at some point, maybe not tonight, but another night, where we go through all the teams that we could have traded him to, and who he would not have wanted to go to, because it sounds like there are some people in mind that he would not have wanted to go to.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to kind of play that game.
It's got to be Jacksonville.
By the way, Panthers got FSU 23 in the chat room, man. I keep on hearing this, and none of it's true. It says that they tried him out in the bubble, and he wasn't throwing and looking good, so then they cut him. And then it says that Cam wanted an extension. Like, none of that is true, man. When they didn't, a lot of these teams couldn't even have Cam Newton in the building to even do a workout because of all this COVID shit. Like, it was literally when all of this was popping off. So no, the Panthers didn't have an opportunity to let Cam Newton work out and throw in the bubble.
Is he
like
thinking
that,
about last year? Don't you remember they live streamed Cam throwing before the season started?
Yeah. They were so excited about his new throwing motion.
Yeah. And
but there's this notion that the Panthers brought him in and it didn't look good, so that's not why they signed him. Dude, that's all nonsense.
I'm sure his agent is always thinking, how can we get the best for my client? I'm sure that Cam's crew would have been open to an extension. It didn't sound like that he was going to sit, though. Like, so I don't get that. He says it is true. I know a lot more than you do.
Right. All right. Send me any information where that was explicitly reported that the Panthers worked him out and he didn't look good throwing, and that's why they cut him. You won't be able to send me one thing that even resembles that, because it's not true. And he didn't yell.
Wait, my question is this: he was trying out for a team he's already on.
I think he might be. Yeah. I think he might be talking about that. All I want is a little commitment. IG story.
Oh yeah. That all right. Well, that's like the least problem. Cam didn't seem. Now maybe he. Now I tell you this: if you listen to that first episode of the Ringer series, his dad's talking about how sensitive he is. Like as a child, like he's always been dramatically sensitive. Like we saw after the Super Bowl, like we've seen him struggle in his early years, kind of dealing with the media at times and some different things. So, I mean, there could be a possibility that Cam's kind of like a whiny guy in the background who needs everybody to always remind him how important he is to them. And he didn't feel that way by some of the people. So, I mean, I can see some of that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was when you guys watched that, I found myself liking Todd Gurley even more. I've always been a Todd Gurley fan. Todd Gurley's cool. Like, I just want to hang with homie. And he seems like very even keel, willing to field different possibilities of different ideas. He's not, let me tell you how the world is too much, but confident in himself. And to hear that Todd Gurley said, he said that he's worked out more now than he ever has before. And then he reminded he's only 25. What do you guys think? Are you trying to draft all three of these dudes on your fantasy football team? Because I am. Like, Odell is going to be a Patriot if the Browns start out 0-3.
I don't know, man. Do you feel confident about Todd?
Yes.
I mean,
well, is that like he didn't act like he's over there. He don't look like a rickety old man to me. He won't acting like one, and he's been working out real hard doing all of this. So, yeah, I think that people tend to, and he also opened up a little bit about the Rams stuff. And it didn't sound like it was only Todd Gurley's injuries that were the problems in his production last year.
No. I mean, listen, we're kind of learning that sometimes you just run your course at some places, right? It's just like kind of no matter, like the writing is on the wall, and it's just time to move on. And I kind of feel, I think it's funny because all three of those dudes were superstars, and they're all kind of in the same position people that questioned them, injuries.
Yeah.
Are they ever gonna return to normal and be the player that they were? These freaky superstar athletes, and they all kind of share that in common.
It sounded like Cam is excited about where he's going, but more excited about an opportunity to prove people wrong. Odell looks just downright like he don't want to play with Baker Mayfield.
It felt like that.
Didn't it? I almost felt like Odell was sitting here going, not only does everybody not believe in me, but now I got to be on this team. Like when he was saying, do you remember when he was like, there are some players that are starting on other teams that are not as good as quarterback as you?
Yeah.
I kind of felt like he was implying Baker there.
Maybe. Dude, that would be the funniest. Dude, I've been saying forever Baker Mayfield actually is who everyone thinks Cam Newton is. The guy that's only involved with himself, that's flashy, that doesn't know when to shut his mouth, that isn't a good teammate. Dude, that's Baker fucking Mayfield, not Cam Newton.
You want to know, did you guys have a favorite part of, what did you think about this round table? Would you like to see more stuff like this?
Yeah, man. Dude, I wish the players, like, okay, look, let's face it. When Cam is trying to be prim and proper and say the right thing, man, homeboy doesn't know how to speak his mind very well. But whenever you see Cam Newton around his peers and around guys that he can just shoot the shit with, I feel like you're getting a much more honest, much more authentic version of himself. You know what I mean? So
I like this. I think Cam. First, I want to remind people talk so much shit about Cam and the icon entertainer comment when he came into the league. He's very much continuing to show commitment to that. I think that Cam Newton's YouTube channel is one of the most forward sport athlete channels, like progressive or cutting edge, if you would say so. And it shouldn't be. Like, it's kind of strange that this took so long for people to start to market this way. But what I think is very interesting about what Cam Newton has done and what Odell is doing with this, what even Todd Gurley, any player that kind of gives you these unfiltered or semi-filtered peeks into their lives, is a little bit what I continue to say that Greg Olsen and Thomas Davis, how they got that extra couple of million out of the Carolina Panthers. They went straight to the people. Instead of letting our agents handle it, they've said it straight to the newspaper reporters talking to the fans saying, you going to do us like this? Cam and these guys are starting to drive more the narrative, and that's gonna give these football teams some problems, particularly some for instance, think of what Odell and how Gettleman and how it's gonna be framed is that these guys get to appeal to the fans more directly and garner kind of a popular sovereignty. I think it's interesting. Did you guys have a favorite part of the interview? More discussion?
I mean, my favorite. Go ahead, CK.
No, I didn't get a chance to watch it all, but I mean, outside of that, I mean, it was
long, dude. It was a straight hour.
Yeah, it was. I mean, if I'm basing it off of that clip alone, it's the reality that we all knew, which is that Cam Newton gave his body, soul, and everything he could to this city, and you could feel that pain when he was saying that, when he wasn't going to be here and whatnot. So, but again, and I think that there is context to be had. There's one person talking and not the other people. The Carolina Panthers aren't responding. They're not able to put their word in, because if they do, guess what? Now they're seen as the team that's
they
sitting
can't
there.
go back and forth.
Yeah.
This is Cam getting, this is what comes with a platform a little bit. Did you have a favorite part, Cody? Because I did.
I mean, yeah, my favorite part was pretty much when he was saying, telling McDaniels, "Hey, I'm a dog now, man. You have things that you can do now with me that you were not able to do before," and that I don't know. I'm just that seems to me like it's good news for Cam and that team.
This is my favorite part right here.
When you want to hoot with the Owls, you better soar with the Eagles.
Exactly. And I think
you want to hoot with the Owls, you better soar with the Eagles. Todd Gurley's talking about mugs that can party and play football. He's like, you can party as hard as you want as long as you can play. You can hoot all night long as long as you can soar with the Eagles. Oh, that's my favorite part.
When you want to hoot with the Owls, you better soar with the Eagles.
Exactly. And I think
all right.
That is very funny. You want to do some more calls?
I don't know if we have any more.
I think Chef Jeff said he slipped one in.
Oh, okay.
By the way, man, people don't like us no more because we talk about Cam too much.
Well, what else is there to give us something to talk
bro,
about?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like what do y'all want? What do y'all want to talk about?
All right,
like,
here it is. Here's 45 seconds. Guarantee you it's about Cam.
What's up, C3? Getting my call in a little late. Hopefully we'll get to it tonight. But I just want to pose a question that nobody's really brought up yet, and I'm sure it's on everybody's mind. How many years are we going to give David Tepper and Matt Rule to go win us a Super Bowl? Because that's what the fuck we deserve for what they did to Cam Newton. How many years are we going to give them before we turn coat on them and ask for replacements?
Well, you can't ask for an owner replacement.
If we're not in the playoffs in 3 years, I'm gonna start looking for somebody to get fired.
Well, it can only be Matt Rule.
I'll be listening. Keep pounding.
David Tepper is here to stay. You better start to like him, right? Or we can villainize him. But I mean, I think he's gonna die, the Panthers owner, right? Wouldn't you expect that?
I mean, dude, people have been trying to get rid of Dan Snyder. The Washington, who knows what? They're people have been wanting to get rid of him for years, man. What about the owner of the New York Knicks, that Dolan dude? Everybody fucking hates that guy, bro. It's like, with the owner, you're stuck. I think with Matt Rule, it is an interesting conversation because we've all kind of convened ourselves to be like, well, pretty much no matter what happens this year, he's going to get a gimme year because that's his MO. It takes a team, and then they're bad, and then they start to turn around, and then that's his thing. Like, I don't know, man. I can't imagine what Matt Rule could even do to have all of Panther fandom wanting his head.
I know. I'm going to give him 5 years, man. I'm on a 5-year plan with Matt Rule. I think by year 3, you better be starting to see. Year 4 and 5, I expect, that's where I'm at. But David Tepper's here to stay. That's it. I mean, we better start to like him. Matt Rule, we'll just see. Hopefully he's driven. I wonder if I feel like Tepper likes Matt Rule because of how driven he is, like a workaholic. You know what I'm saying? And that I feel like is kind of Tepper. While we're talking about coaches and Dan Snyder, why poor Ron Rivera. Do you remember when he had to deal with all the Greg Hardy shit? And he was front and center, always talking about Greg Hardy, having to deal with all the questions. There was no David Gettleman to be seen. There was no Jerry Richardson to be seen. And now they're renaming the damn Washington Redskins. And it's like we're consulting with Rivera and the Rivera family over the future of the name. I don't even know why the coach would be involved in naming the team.
No, well, I mean,
it's strange. So like, I feel like they're using him because he's is he a minority? And they're like, we're inclusive.
Oh, 100%. 100%. That's the only reason why.
And Ron won't say nothing about that name when he signed that check. When he signed that contract.
He damn sure wasn't, man. That's a part of my ice up pick tonight, so I won't go too far into it now. But the only reason that Dan Snyder is making any changes is because Nike and FedEx basically said, hey, dipshit, everyone's been asking you to do this for years, and you're pretty much going to do it, or we're going to stop paying you millions of dollars. And then he was like, oh, yes, sir, let me bow down and kiss the ring. It's like, dude, everyone answers to someone, dude.
Well, I know he's got a lot of money. I don't know how he has gotten his money, but money always talks, right? And for right now, the Washington Redskins brand had been more valuable than the alternative. But now the Washington Redskins brand in this climate has become devalued.
Yeah.
And then, or depreciated.
No. Think about it from this perspective. Let's forget about the brand, right? Think about this. Every single person that has a Redskins jersey is now going to have the decision on whether they want to buy a new one. So now everybody has to purchase new merch, right? If they want to be able to support the current, organization the way that it is. So if in my opinion, I feel like this is a brilliant ploy to get more sales for their merchandise.
And it's also a great opportunity for you as the Washington Redskins yacht docks to be refitted to jump the hell off. I mean, like, at what point do you think, how do you feel if you're a Redskins fan? People are talking about allegiances to the Panthers and this and that, Cam challenging those. But are you really the same team when you change your name? Interesting. I don't know how I would feel if the Panthers became like the Carolina Tornadoes, or whatever. What would you call them? I don't know. It wouldn't be tornado because we don't have
let's
tornadoes.
Equate it to the Baltimore Colts, or the Houston Oilers.
But didn't they move too?
Well, the Houston Oilers, I don't think did. I think they just changed to Houston Texans. But the Baltimore Colts, yes, they moved to Indianapolis, and then the Baltimore Ravens were created in Baltimore.
How hard do you think it's going to be for Panther fans? I mean, for Redskins fans. They say they're going to be the Washington Red Tails.
Well, dude, I'm trying not to hit on it because it's my eyes up pick for the night. Dude, I don't know if you guys have heard what's going on around that, but it's straight out of a fucking cartoon show. And there's an evil genius out there that's fucking with Dan Snyder, and I gotta tell you, I'm here for it.
All right.
It's
well, hold on to it. Let's get these calls out of the way, and then we'll get your ice up.
What's going on, C3 Nation? This your boy Jay Anderson. Hope y'all having a good day. All right.
Appreciate you, man.
I saw that video. I saw the whole thing, the whole hour thing with Cam, OBJ, and Todd Gurley. I'm still pissed off the way that how Carolina handle the situation. I said it before. I felt like they should have, if they wanted to move on, they should have let him go early before this whole pandemic, before the whole free agency, come up, so teams could get a look at him. Because I figure the time that they let him go, I figured the NFL was going to try to humble him and not pick him up or not look at him. Because the NFL already, the media and teams already had it out for Cam. They didn't like, let's be real, they didn't like the guy. They didn't like how he was as a quarterback. They didn't like his style. Carolina, we love his style. The people growing up, they love Cam's style. The old fashioned people, and not everybody that is old fashioned, dislike Cam, but you have some who dislike how he approached the game. It's funny that the dude has the same passion for the game and loves to have fun, in which you want a player to be like, to have fun and be passionate about the game and to fight for every yard, to fight for every first down, to fight to get a touchdown, to fight to win. But it's crazy how they look at Cam like he don't fight. Like he just don't do nothing. Like he's selfish. Like, yo, I'm like, what are they watching? It's like they still keeping the same narrative that the false narrative they had since he came into the league. And it's crazy. They won't get off that narrative. All right, y'all hold it down.
Yeah, let's see. I think there's a part 2.
What's going on? This is Jay Anderson again. Hate to call y'all again, but I just want to drop this, this little thing. I saw somebody talking about can Cam learn the playbook of the Patriots. And that's another narrative that I'm tired of. I mean, we can go back to when he was drafted, 2011, when they had a lockout. They had no OTAs, no mini camps. Cam learned that playbook, you know, and he had one of his best passing yard seasons ever in his career. Not saying ever, but in his career. So he learned Rob Straczynski's playbook. When Mike Shula took over, he learned his playbook. When I remember they were questioning him about North Turner when North Turner came in. Cam learned the North Turner offense, and he learned it, and he had his best stats through those first 8 games with North Turner. So people need to stop questioning this man like he ain't smart enough, like he can't read defense. I mean, like if you go back to the Miami game in 2017, we saw he.
You see that on film? All right.
Read that. You saw he read the defense and threw that pass to Devin Funches for a touchdown. So the dude can read defense. Cause we all been saying it was like, yo, if you get Cam in a no huddle situation and let him go, this dude can go. We all been screaming that, but Ron Rivera, who I like, but he wants to slow the game down. That kind of slowed Cam down. Like you let Cam Newton go in a no huddle, and that dude, we seen them game winners. These people crazy, man. Y'all on the day.
Jay, how dare you watch the Carolina Panthers for the last 10 years? Because he's right.
Yeah.
He was just right. I mean, like, it's like and this is all we've banged the drum. It's like, no, that's wrong. Like, the narrative and what you see are usually just don't jive as well as people say. Now, I do think there's something too, maybe that Cam isn't naturally the most accurate, or that he's almost become, but again, you go to that North Turner time. I'm not worried about, like, look at this. If Robbie Anderson, if we're confident he can learn the playbook, if you've seen how his tweets roll, I'm pretty sure that Cam can. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. I'm not worried about that. It's Cam, he did. And the other thing that he's absolutely right is what we saw was Cam Newton fight. We did see him fight. So that's where it's scary to see, is that if Cam is healthy, and you see him doing stuff in these workouts that you're like, if he was really as fragile as we all thought he was, he wouldn't be balancing on that foot like that, doing all this crap as much. I think he'll be fine. Yeah, just a tough situation. Time to turn the page for us and move on, and it's not easy to do. That's the sad thing. And what makes it more difficult, and I will address the comment that all we do is talk about Cam. What else is there to talk about in a time there's absolutely no sports? Like, let's go to NFL.com and let's see what the headlines are.
Dude, First Take this morning, they were having a debate about the Madden rankings that came out.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally no difference between our show and First Take now, man. Like, there's nothing to talk about.
So,
and yeah, it's dude, I just, like, you don't think that we want to be excited about the Panthers? Like, you don't think that we want to be turned up and ready for this season and ready to go? I mean, dude, we're not just going to fake it, man. Like, we're going to shoot it to you honest. And when there's Panthers news to talk about, then we're going to. It's not like we're going to go into the season and talk about the Patriots game every Sunday. No, we're going to be talking about the Panthers. But there's not shit going on. And Cam Newton has defined the last decade of this team. Forgive me if you have to forgive, or if you have to go through one off season where we work through the exit of Cam Newton for this organization, man. Like, I don't understand what people expect.
This is the top story. Patriots reduce seating capacity to 20%. You almost wonder why they are going to have any fans at all. But I hate to bring up the video one last time. There was an interesting comment when they were talking about Odell, and then we're talking about who they do. They asked Todd Gurley if it was going to be weird playing without fans. And he was like, yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of weird, but at the same time, I train without fans. I practice. Like, I'm going to nut up and do whatever it is. And then Odell was talking about, does he play, how he's motivated by children who like him. And Cam obviously was on that bandwagon. But I did think it was interesting this, and I don't know if it was Odell or Cam. It might have been Cam that said it. That said, those people in the stadium, though, ain't the fans I'm playing for.
Yeah.
Right, because, I mean, if you think of it, and I almost thought, man, that just really sums up Bank of America and the sanitariness and the very kind of elite level people who get to attend games. And I thought that was kind of cool because I was like, man, because games are expensive. They're even a lot on me, and I have resources. So I wonder what it's going to be like this season, and who are the fans that are going to be going. Is it the people that have the bottom? You can't turn the TV on and have all the fans in the upper deck. They're going to be trying to get the people that pay the money and spend the money out there, not the peasant people at the top as much. But imagine what the TV ratings are going to be if we have NFL football. I almost say they don't let anybody in, and they just guarantee that they're going to be playing, and we would all watch, like the whole world would entirely watch it all Sunday.
Would you all sign a waiver saying that you couldn't sue the NFL if you got COVID in order to attend the game?
Yeah, sure.
How about this?
Sure. Like, I don't think you should be able to sue the NFL if you get COVID. Like,
yeah. I think that's, by the way, I mean, in a grand scale, I think that's what everyone should be doing. Like, if you need to run your business or else go under and lose your business forever, then, people should be able to sign if they're willing to take that chance or not.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. It's tough. Thoughts, Cody? I'm actually worried about the football season. I think that we're sitting here looking at it too, like it's like kind of like schools now. It's becoming this hyper politicized conversation, but there also seems in one half of the world wants to ramp everything down, and then the other half of the world wants to plow forward without any thought that you should have to change, right, in the short term. Any thoughts in the last week regarding COVID and the NFL season, and then we'll get out of here?
Dude, I just hate this shit so much, man. Like, it rubs me the wrong way. Now with college football, they're talking about doing conference only. Dude, there's a whole bunch of shit. I just don't. I don't know,
they
man.
Should not. I don't think college football should even play. You know what I mean? If that, and I can understand a business, and these people, but the colleges is a different story. But it's crazy, man. Right now, we're like trying to figure out if my kids are going to be at a school or if they're going to be homeschooled all year.
Oh no, man! It's so annoying.
Yeah,
it's so annoying.
I know.
And then what's even worse is now it's so political. So if you even have an opinion, you're painted as extreme one way or the other. I don't know.
Right. I don't even know how to settle in the middle.
No, there is no middle. There is no middle because you're forced to the extremes. You either have to be very pro-mask and shut down everything, or you're one of these people that's like, you wear a mask, you infringe on my right as an American. And it's like, there's no in between, man. But could you imagine, Tony, if we didn't have NFL this year?
Oh, my God.
Like, what, dude, that's
Do you know what we will be like? You know what? If there is no NFL right this year, you will get to see what small businesses have been going through for the last 4 months.
Yeah.
Like, can we keep the will to do the podcast with nothing to talk about? We would have to, we'd
have to broaden our horizon. You know what we'd have to do? We'd have to just stream video games the entire time.
Yeah. We would just watch you play video games. Just watch you play video games. I don't know. We would have to really maybe we could do my JCVD podcast.
Ooh.
My daughter.
I'll come on here and drip candle wax on my nipples if we ain't got shit else to do.
My daughter could launch a podcast today. My daughter has watched watched 4 consecutive Tremors movies in a row.
All right, I have an idea for if there is no NFL season.
All right.
We just do rap battles in the cat calls.
Oh shit, dude.
All right.
And then we let everybody vote on it in chat who won, and then whoever won gets a shout out.
Yeah. Gosh. We're already worried about it. All right, look, there's really nothing else to talk about for this evening. I don't think any news with the Panthers are worthwhile. NFL, there's been a couple of signings, some bigger contracts. Myles Garrett, the guy from, was it Chris Jones, something Jones?
Yeah. Chris Jones for the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs the Chiefs are tooling up. They're about to go on a dang.
But you remember a few years ago when the Rams were signing everyone, and it's like, where in the shit are they getting all that money from?
Yeah.
Like, dude, is that not the Chiefs right now? Like,
But the Rams did have a 3-year run or a 2-year run where they were at the top.
Yeah, but dude, it's like some teams are just better at making money appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, the
like,
Saints are the best.
Why isn't that a trick the Panthers can learn?
No, they don't know that magic. That dark magic is in New England and New Orleans. All right, what are your ice up? Ice somebody up. You said you had an ice up pick. I don't even really have one.
Yeah, man. So listen, I'm gonna get right to it. There is a grade A god tier level troll who is swooping in and purchasing all the naming rights to all of the alternatives that the Washington Redskins are trying to change the name to. So this dude picked up the Washington Warriors, the Washington Red Tails. I believe there was the Red Wolves. Dude, this is a mastermind move, man. You're gonna make Dan Snyder pay you millions of dollars just because he's an incompetent dumbass and decided to change the name of his team like 5 years too late, bro. Dude, I love that so much, and Dan Snyder deserves it so much. It's not really even an ice up. I'm loving that Dan Snyder, who was a legendary piece of shit, is getting exactly what he deserves. So to Dan Snyder, ice up. And I hope you have to pay extra millions to name your fucking football team, bro.
You got anything, CK?
Ditto.
All right, my ice up pick then is gonna go to Jada Pinkett and this whole Will Smith debacle.
Bro, she's so treacherous.
A lot on Will Smith too. I thought this was a funny comment. Is Howard Stern says, talking about the kid August Alsina that is banging Jada. He says, "What a fucking dickwad, dude! You got to fuck Jada Pinkett Smith." By the way, put me in that line. That girl is hot. He said, "Be a little bit classy." She effing banged you. How nice of her. I mean, look at her. And then he goes on, you shouldn't have screwed up her life. I don't think that's the right interpretation. I feel like it's Jada Pinkett Smith. That whole thing with poor Will. Will Smith was the sacrificial lamb for all dudes who have been played. And he just sat there and took it. And entanglements. It was like, gosh, poor Will was just getting cuck slapped the whole time. And the only thing that I can take away from this, is I just said, Will, don't do this, bro. Storm off. Screw this lady talking to you in this language that's like, oh, we're so adult. You can watch me do this, whatever. Have some emotion. But the thing, though, is I was wondering, is Will just shaking his head, smiling, saying, you ain't getting none of my money. You ain't getting none of my money. You know, is that why he was like that?
But Tony, okay. I think Will did her a service Just
was
to
too
go on
nice.
there and
Yes.
talk about. Dude, you don't think Will Smith is throwing it down? Dude, Will Smith is deep in any kind of
I understand that. I agree. Like,
Bro.
I don't think of him. I don't think down on him. I felt like, why are you allowing this to happen to you? Like, you don't have to be a dick even. Just be like, you know what? Screw you in August. I ain't doing this show. I ain't gonna go on, be the nicest. It's like I'm the nicest dude. I have to maintain my nice dude, sophisticated appearance. I wonder what Will Smith's next blockbuster is gonna be like. Banging 32 in August.
Dude, somebody put what's Jada Pinkett Smith's favorite month, and they're like August, and they showed that picture of Will Smith all sad and shit. Bro,
Yeah.
the memes
Did
are
you see
fire
that mess?
right now, though.
Have you seen the video that they did where the entanglements,
Oh, yeah,
the
I
rap?
saw the whole.
No,
I
the
saw
rap.
Yes, I saw that.
The
Yeah.
rap
It
is
was
so good. I actually thought less of Jada Pinkett. Like, I didn't think she was that cool, and I think she's looking older too. And like, I didn't come away with a more positive opinion about her. And I felt coming away just kind of sorry for Will at this moment that he had to sit there, or that he sat there like that. So to that whole red table talk, I say ice up.
Ice up. Yeah, it's been rumored forever that they had an open marriage, an open relationship, and I also kind of think, man, that Will Smith. Like, dude, let's be real. Jada Pinkett is famous for being Will Smith's wife. Okay? And I think that behind closed doors, Will Smith was like, yeah, none of the chicks I've been with, you didn't hear any of them coming forward, airing all of our dirty laundry. But yet you had a little fling with old boy, and now it's, some old news popping up. It's like, man, I don't know, man. And she has a whole show about being honest and getting to the root of the problem, and yet she's not doing that for her own self. Like, it's hypocritical. She just made herself look like a big ass hypocrite in front of the world.
Where is this? I gotta find this video real quick to let us out on. Gosh, the internet always. It's in my mentions. Shoot, hold on. Let me see, because we gotta go out to this.
And bro, but how about August Alsina? Bro, now he's
I don't even know who this dude. Who are these people?
Yeah, I know, right? Now he's just the dude that was sleeping with Jada Pinkett Smith, man. Like, no matter what he does, he's that dude now.
But no, it's not even just that. Now he's gonna forever be compared to Will Smith, and he's always gonna fall short.
All right. Oh,
Every time.
Where is
dude.
this? What is it? God, it's so
Red
funny. I
Table Talk?
gotta watch it. No, the actual rap. How is it not at the top if you just type in entanglements?
Entanglement rap.
Okay, try it.
Gotta be
Entanglement
thorough.
rap. Let's see if this comes up. Nope. Oh, here. I think this is it. Let's see.
Entanglement with August. 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 Entanglement with August.
An entanglement
with August. I got into an entanglement with August. 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 An entanglement with August.
An entanglement
with August. I got into an entanglement
All right,
with
it's the
August.
C3 Panthers podcast. We're going to check you guys out next Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in. And hopefully, there'll be some entanglements to talk about. Check y'all next week.
Entanglement with August.